What's up, everybody? I got some breaking news concerning Raising Kanan Season 3. Unique's older brother is going to be getting out of prison. So there's going to be a new major character added to the cast of Raising Kanan Season 3. And it is Unique's older brother. The actor's name is Grantham Coleman. Grantham Coleman will be playing Unique's older brother in Raising Kanan Season 3, and probably moving forward if he don't die in that season. The description they have for him is: his stoic demeanor belies a shocking ruthlessness. It's not that he's immoral, it's that he's amoral, conscienceless, unyielding, and vindictive. So, don't worry, if you didn't know what a couple of those words meant, I had to look them up myself. The word stoic simply means a person who can endure pain or hardship without showing their feelings or complaining. And the word amoral is simply lacking a moral sense, unconcerned with rightness or wrongness of something. So really just somebody who really is just cold-blooded, who don't give a what about too much. So he's gonna be getting out of prison in this season, probably the beginning of the season, similar to probably how we saw Unique in episode 1 of season 2. How we saw him for the first episode. He was transferred, planning to get out of jail, and everything showed him one episode in jail. Then at the end of the episode, they showed him getting out. So I'd expect within something like that, within the first couple episodes, probably be introduced to him while he's still in jail, and then within the first episode or two, we're going to see him getting out for whatever reason he's going to be getting out. Not sure if his time is going to be served, if they're going to be expecting him to get out, or is it going to be like a Kanan situation where he surprises everybody when he gets out. And just remember this, just like Kanan, Unique's older brother was running things when he got locked up. It was him and High Post were the two drug kingpins in Queens at that time. High Post and Unique's brother. We learned that in season 1, around the first couple episodes. Unique and Rock are having a meeting, and they talk about High Post and Unique's brothers' agreement, and you hear Rock say that's their agreement ain't my agreement. So that was who running things at the time. And we see a similar situation to this in Force, where we had Diamond Sampson getting out of prison, and his younger brother Jannard had been running the operation the whole time Diamond was locked up. And in fact, Jannard kept the operation intact and even expanded the Diamond's operation to make it even bigger than what it was when he went in. Similar to how Ghost and Tommy did. Kanan said, he said, like, dang, y'all living better with me in than you were with me being out. They came up, took out the middleman, like we seen Tremont and Abraham do with Rock and Cartier in the last episode. But Jannard had harsh feelings toward Diamond. He had a bitterness because he got put in charge and he skipped over a lot of people who deserved the job ahead of him. But in the game, that's a common thing, because family is family. That's really the only people you can even somewhat trust in the dope game. So I mean, I completely understand why he would skip over so many people and put his brother in charge, but his brother felt like he did it on purpose to take away his baseball career, and he had hard feelings toward Diamond, that he was never able to pursue his dream as a professional baseball pitcher. So a few episodes into Force, we actually saw Diamond and Gennard fought MMA style, or was it boxing? One of the two. I think it was MMA, because I think they told Gennard to use them feet. So yeah, they fought MMA style, kickboxing at least, and they fought for the leadership spot, and Diamond won. But they said that Gennard took that spill on purpose to play the long game. I don't know. It looked like he got knocked out to me, but nonetheless, Diamond won, and they ended the season in a beef where Diamond let Gennard live, but they are going their separate ways. They've split up the turf, and they came out with a solution to not have to deal with each other no more, but yet both of them still live because Diamond didn't want to kill his own brother. Now, this is a little bit different of a situation because Unique's brother's coming home to find that he lost everything. If it was about a season and a half ago, season and a quarter ago, he would have came out and he would have been good. Everything's still intact. The operation's still in order. But now he's coming home and he's finding out he lost everything because Unique lost everything when he had to go do his 3-month bid for the crime that Rock and Kanan framed him for. So he just started working back for Rock, and he was telling Rock that him and Warrell weren't going to work for her as employees because they're planning on doing their own thing soon. But we know Warrell is now gone, but nonetheless, Unique don't have much to work with. As far as we know, he doesn't even have a connect. His brother could come home and have a connect that he met on the inside though. But it also a difference between Warrell and Unique seems to be happy with the street life. He has no plans of changing. He is in the game. That's what we learned from him in episode 2 when he first got, it might have been episode 2, episode 3, the first couple episodes when he first got out of jail and people trying to tell him to move on, and he was telling them he's not moving on. This is what he does. This is what he's about. So he's a little different than Gennard in that matter. But we did hear Unique talking to Warrell in the finale of season 2 about how they have to find a new hustle because crack is starting to die off. Only the old heads is the ones who deal with that, and the young people, crack is like the joke of the neighborhood. So they do kind of, he is kind of come to the light that he does need to get another hustle. But we already know this is in 1992. Crack really don't die off for several more, like at least another couple more decades. So you really don't have to worry about that, but it does die off eventually. And a question we want to ask is to the authority of his brother, because he was obviously under his brother when his brother went in. Now he's been on top for so long, even though he's still not technically on top right now, but he was still running his own spot in Jersey. He was the leader of that spot. I don't know how if that spot's gonna, how any of Rock's spots are gonna, if any of Rock's spots are gonna move forward after the Italians done completely shot them all up. They might be swarmed with too many cops. It might be too hot to go back to those spots. I honestly don't know. I would assume all those bodies dropping in those spots, all the potential drug money and drugs they might find there, those spots potentially might be too hot to go back to. So Rock might even be starting over in season 3. We don't know. It's cliffhanger. Okay, moving on to my next question. It is, how will Unique's brother getting out of jail affect Rock and Unique's new alliance, because we seen them kind of make an alliance at the end of the last episode where he comes in and he saves the day by shooting the Italian hitter who was about to take out Rock and saving her life. And we see them walking out just to run into Malcolm, Howard, and Kanan, but that's for another video. So my question is, wondering how this is going to affect their alliance, because obviously Unique's brother probably doesn't at least familiar with Rock as being his competition's girl while he was still in the game. So he possibly might be familiar with Rock, but at the same time, being in the game for a while, like Kanan said, this game will turn your enemies into your friends and your friends into your enemies. So he might understand that, and he might actually be willing to work with Rock. That's if we find out, because we know Rock has been a snitch, we know Rock has been an informant. And the next question is, did Rock snitch on Unique's older brother? Did she have anything to do with him getting locked up? Because we already know that when she was 16, he was an informant for Howard. But I don't think he'd been locked up 16 years. I don't think he's been locked up that long. He's probably been more about 5 to 10. How long? Because he is more on High Post timeline, and High Post was her dude after DEFCON, so probably more about 5 to 10 years locked up. But the question is, did she have something to do with him being locked up? And if she did he find out about it? Because we know all the way back from Power, Kanan gets out of jail early and he plays Ghost and Tasha, I guess. I mean, you can't really even include Tommy in this. You know, Tommy didn't have nothing to do with him getting locked up. He played those three by acting like he ain't know nothing about it until it was the time he could strike. So we're gonna find out if Rock was the one who snitched on Unique's brother, and if he knows about it. Because we do know, I'm pretty sure High Post got killed. He got lit on fire for being a snitch. And I've always wondered if High Post was actually the snitch, or was that Rock who was the snitch, might have had some inside information that only High Post knew about, and he possibly did some bedroom talk to her and she found out some information she shouldn't have known about, and she used that information to snitch on somebody and get High Post killed in the process. That could have been what happened. She could have used the information that High Post had given her to snitch on Unique's brother, and it could be in retaliation. Unique's crew could have came back and set High Post on fire. Alright, so those goes that questions, and now we got to get into the question that you already knew that I was going to ask. Is Unique's brother going to be Breeze? We have been waiting for Breeze to get out of jail. We don't know Breeze's age. Never been stated on Power. I'm gonna say that again. I need to every time, because some people feel like they need to know his age, but it's never been said on Power how old Breeze actually was. If he's an old man, young man, same age as Kanan, younger than Kanan. I mean, I doubt that, but nonetheless, you get what I'm saying. We don't know his age. Unique's brother could very well be Breeze, because if you go back to this description, his stoic demeanor belies a shocking ruthlessness. It's not that he's immoral, it's that he's amoral, conscienceless, unyielding, and vindictive. That sounds like a lot about what we'd assume Breeze to be. So bring it on, Breeze. We've been waiting on him. We thought he was going to be introduced to in the end of season 2. That's what 50 Cent had said in an interview, but we still don't know who Breeze is unless you can kind of jump to a conclusion with the transformation Famous has been going through and kind of jump to that conclusion that he's Breeze. But we don't have any kind of evidence one way or another for anybody that they're Breeze. But Breeze could very well be Unique's brother, because we see Unique has a nickname Unique. This could be his brother, could have also go by a nickname, and it could be his street name, and it could be Breeze. So that's definitely a question. I definitely think that with this being a prequel, the more characters you add that we already know their conclusion, say Kanan, Jukebox, say you add Ghost, Tommy, Breeze. Those are 5 characters now that you've added to the storyline, and it makes it a lot harder for the writers because they gotta keep the suspense level up, but 5 characters how they die. Well, the one who would still be living would be Tommy Egan. You would know that he's still alive, and you would know how Jukebox, Breeze, Ghost, and who am I missing? Kanan. You would know how all 4 of them die. So if you add all these guys too early, it kind of takes away the suspense element of the show. And now I'm going to get into my final question. This is a fan theory that someone left on my video from Ghost Dad is Breeze. And that's still, I think, a very good possibility. All the evidence points to that. If you go back and really rewatch the final season, the final couple episodes, 610, 616, a few episodes of the final season of Power, I'll just say, we gotta watch the episodes leading up, but the final few episodes of Power, if you just take in mind that Ghost Dad is Breeze, things will make a lot of sense if you just watch it from that aspect. But nonetheless, this is a theory that someone left on that particular video, and it says that Unique survives raising Kanan and becomes Uncle Gabe. So we see Uncle Gabe from the bar scene. We see him in Ghost talking to the Rika Ghost funeral. So this would make Unique's brother Breeze as well as Ghost's dad, and we would be introduced to Ghost and Tommy at this point, possibly, and eventually Unique would make it out the game and own that club and the house and everything. And they said his clothing store, whatever, his tailor shop, whatever he owns right now, they basically said he buys that building and turns it into the club. Possibility, we honestly don't know, but that was definitely an interesting theory. I thought this would be a good time to throw that in there. I wasn't gonna make a whole video about that because I don't think it's gonna have any fruit to come out, but since it's such an interesting theory, I definitely wanted to throw that in there. But if Unique's brother is Ghost's dad, he couldn't have done that long of a bid, and he'd have to be an alcoholic, because we do know Ghost's dad was an alcoholic, and that Ghost was raised by his dad alone. So I feel like there's a chance that it could be Breeze, but if it's Breeze, it wouldn't be Ghost's dad at the same time, because the fact that I don't know if Ghost's dad ever had to do a bid in jail, because Tommy Egan specifically told Ghost when they were fighting at the end of season 2 that he'll never be nothing but a corner boy with a drunk for a dad and no mom. And that really made Ghost hot when he said something about not having a mom. So we'll see. There you have it. Nonetheless, Unique's brother will be getting out of prison, I should say, at some point, most likely the beginning of season 3, raising Kanan. There you have it. Leave your prediction in the comments.